Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing the cruelty-free beauty tag. This tag was actually started by another cruelty-free YouTuber, and I actually discovered her because she was featured on the Logical Harmony YouTube channel. And her name is JHolmie. I will link her channel below. She started this tag. I've really been enjoying her channel ever since I discovered it. She's got some great content. She is super energetic, and I feel like I'm just kind of like hanging out with a friend when I watch her videos because she's just really personable and friendly. So I definitely recommend, if you have not watched her already, definitely check out her channel and subscribe. I think you'll really like her. So I was really excited to see this tag. I think it's filled with some really good questions. I participated in a cruelty-free tag video about a year ago now. I don't know if that one was really well known or if it really got around very far, but that one also had some kind of similar questions. But I think it'll be good to do this one because I'm sure that my perspectives have changed in the last year. I probably have some new insights to share and some different answers than I would have had a year ago. So I will link that tag that I did a while back down below as well if you are interested in checking it out. But let's go ahead and get into the questions. So the first question is, when did you go cruelty-free? So I really did it kind of gradually, but I would say I probably really started around like my senior year of high school, which was about 5.5 years ago now. So I had known about animal testing for a while. I knew that it was something I didn't really want to support, but it kind of took me a while to just decide to bite the bullet and do it. I started finding some really great resources online, and so I just slowly made the transition, and I think that making a slower transition was helpful because it didn't feel like I was just like going from one extreme to another overnight. So yeah, anyway, to answer the question, I'd say I probably went cruelty-free in 2012 or 2013, but again, it was gradual, so it's really hard to kind of pinpoint the exact like day that I did it. Number two, why did you go cruelty-free? Well, I really just did it because I didn't want to support animal testing. So once I learned that there are tons and tons of amazing brands out there that don't test on animals, it was kind of a no-brainer to me. Like, why support a company that does test on animals when I could support one that doesn't? And I also realized that I really wouldn't be missing out on anything because there are just so many cruelty-free brands out there. Many of them are mainstream too, like Milani, Wet n Wild, Urban Decay, Anastasia Beverly Hills. These are all brands that we all know and have heard of, and they're pretty easy to find in stores. And so I just kind of realized that there was no reason not to, so that's why I went cruelty-free. Number three, what is your favorite cruelty-free brand? This is really hard to decide, partly because there are so many brands that I've barely even tried. I have like a long list of brands that I'm wanting to try, but for now, I would say that my favorite brand is Wet n Wild because they are so budget-friendly. You can find them at pretty much any drugstore, and their products are amazing. Not only are they cheap, but they're amazing quality. So I really enjoy Wet n Wild, but of course, it's really hard to say because I've tried so many brands that I love. But if I had to pick one, it would be Wet n Wild. Number four, what is a cruelty-free brand that you haven't tried but would like to? Oh, well, this kind of ties into what I was just saying. I still have not tried Makeup Geek, and I'm dying to try some of their eyeshadows. I really want to get one of their empty palettes and fill it with just like kind of a custom mix of shades. So if you have any Makeup Geek eyeshadow recommendations, please leave them in the comments because I have like my cart on their site and it's filled with a bunch of stuff, but I'm interested in hearing your suggestions because I still haven't made a purchase yet. I'm kind of slowly thinking it over, so I would love to hear your suggestions. Another brand that I still haven't tried is ColourPop. I don't know how I've not yet tried ColourPop because they're so popular, but that's another brand I really want to try. Again, I really want to try their eyeshadows because I know they're really well known for those. So those are a couple. There are like a bunch more that I still haven't tried. Number five says, what is a non-cruelty-free brand that you wish would go cruelty-free? I wish they would all go cruelty-free. I really wish that L'Oreal would go cruelty-free because they own so many other brands and they're so influential in the makeup industry that I think that if L'Oreal finally went cruelty-free, they have this whole page on their website claiming that they are cruelty-free, but they also sell in China, so they're not. Which is really disappointing, and so I would love to see like a huge, really influential mainstream brand like L'Oreal to go cruelty-free. Hopefully it'll happen someday. But again, I wish they would all frickin' just go cruelty-free, because why not? It's 2018, come on. Number six, is what do you think about parent companies that test on animals? So this has always been a really hot topic in the cruelty-free community. It's pretty controversial too, and I have decided that I am perfectly comfortable with purchasing from brands that are owned by parent companies that test. I've been kind of on the fence about it for like forever now, but Tashina from Logical Harmony, whose channel I will also link down below, she's one of my favorite people to watch, and Logical Harmony is the #1 cruelty-free brand list that you should use, in my opinion. But she recently did a video. Keep in mind, Tashina is basically like the global authority on cruelty-free beauty. She recently did a video on her thoughts on parent companies, and she pretty much articulated everything that I couldn't quite wrap my head around for the past 5 years of being cruelty-free. And so I will link that video as well as her channel down below. I really hope you'll check it out, and I hope you understand. I think a lot of people kind of have this attitude like if you purchase from companies that have parent companies that test, then you aren't really cruelty-free, or you know, you're still supporting animal testing. And for me, it's honestly not that different from, say, purchasing a vegan meal from a restaurant that also serves meat. So when we purchase from those companies, we're showing our support for those brands that don't test on animals. I think it's also really important to be in contact with companies. So for example, if I were to purchase from NYX, who's owned by a parent company that's not cruelty-free, L'Oreal, I think it would be a really good idea to email L'Oreal and just let them know that I'm showing my support for NYX because they're cruelty-free, and that's why I'm purchasing from them and not L'Oreal or whatever other brands they own. And that's something I want to start doing more. I also just want to start emailing companies that are cruelty-free and thank them for being cruelty-free, letting them know that that's why I support them, because I think it's really important to let them know that, because otherwise they might just not know that consumers even care. So I did just want to mention that, but again, just to answer that question, I am comfortable with purchasing from brands with parent companies that test. I don't have a ton of those brands in my collection right now because for a while I kind of avoided them, but you may start to see more of those on my channel, just to let you know. So number 7, who is your favorite cruelty-free YouTuber? Oh, these questions are always so hard because I have so many favorites. I guess I'll just go ahead and name a few. I already mentioned Logical Harmony. Another favorite of mine is Kaylee Baute. She just has super fresh content. She's also really real and relatable, and so I watch pretty much every single video she puts out. I just think she's incredible. Another recent discovery of mine is Kelly Gooch. She's just so cute. Like, I don't even know how to, I love her voice is kind of calming. And again, her content is also really fresh. She does a lot of like Project Pan videos, which I really like those kinds of videos. And her channel has been growing really rapidly, which I think is awesome. I want to see more cruelty-free YouTubers grow. What's another one? Another one that I recently discovered is Much Tash, or Much Tash. I'm not sure. I'm going to link all of these below, by the way. I have a lot of things to link below, I just realized. But I recently discovered as well. And she does a lot of great videos, again, on like project panning and talking about like comparing the cost of different products and finding out what's the most cost effective. She also has a really like gentle, calming way of speaking. Another favorite is Compassionate Beauty. Her name is Deb. We've been kind of friends here on YouTube for a while. She's been supporting my channel from the very beginning, and she's so sweet. I love her because, again, she's so real. She has 5 kids, and somehow she manages to also maintain a YouTube channel. So I love her as well. Again, JHolmie, who I already mentioned, I recently discovered her as well. She's super fun to watch, love her content. Oh my gosh, there are so many favorites that I have. I'm sure there are like 20 or 30 more that I haven't even mentioned that I wish that I'm gonna like kick myself for not even mentioning. But those are just a few. If you haven't checked any of them out, definitely do. I think you would really enjoy all of those channels. Number 8, what is your favorite cruelty-free dupe or replacement for a non-cruelty-free product you used to use? This is a really hard question because it's been so long since I've had any non-cruelty-free products in my collection. I think this was actually a question on that other cruelty-free tag I did a while ago, and I think my answer, I'll just say that again because that's literally the only thing I can think of, is the e.l.f. Long Lasting Lustrous Eyeshadows. I actually have one that I can show you right now. I have the one in the shade Soiree. I also used to have the one in Toast, which was a really metallic gold. These are kind of like cream shadows, and I think that these are kind of a dupe, probably not an exact dupe, but a similar formula to the L'Oreal Infallible single eyeshadows. Those are kind of like an old classic L'Oreal product. I think those are still around. I haven't heard anyone talk about those in a while, but those, I used to have one of those that I really liked, and I would say that the formula and the effect that you get with these e.l.f. long-lasting lustrous eyeshadows is pretty similar. They're kind of like a kind of cream, kind of powder formula, so it's an interesting formula that you don't find often, but these e.l.f. shadows are some of my favorites, and I love those, so if you have been a fan of those L'Oreal Infallible shadows, definitely check those out. I wish I had more dupes for you. There are a lot of other cruelty-free YouTubers who have done like really great dupes videos, so definitely check those out because I'm sure there are better recommendations out there. Number 9, what is the hardest part about transitioning to cruelty-free makeup and beauty? I would say the hardest part is just all the misinformation that's out there. First of all, so many brands, like I already mentioned L'Oreal, but so many other brands claim that they're cruelty-free, yet they're not. And I think a lot of people who are just starting out might believe those brands when they say that, but the reality is there are so many loopholes around that question that a company can claim to be cruelty-free and totally not be. They can say that they don't test on animals, but maybe they hire a third party to test on animals for them, so they're technically not lying when they say that. Or they can say they don't test on animals in the US, but in China they still do. So it's really tricky, I think, just starting out because there's so much misinformation, and there are also a lot of conflicting cruelty-free lists out there. Like there's PETA, there's Leaping Bunny, there's tons of different blogs that have cruelty-free brand lists, and those can be a good place to start, but a lot of times the information is conflicting, maybe it's out of date. That's why I really only trust Logical Harmony. She never accepts money from brands to list them as cruelty-free, so right off the bat, she's already very non-biased. She updates the list weekly, I believe, so it's always updated. It's the most comprehensive list out there, I think, and so I definitely recommend if you're starting out going cruelty-free, just go ahead and bookmark Logical Harmony on your computer, on your phone, because that's going to be the most helpful resource. So yeah, I'd say the hardest part about it is just all the misinformation and all the conflicting information that's out there. It can be really hard for someone just starting out to figure out what to believe and what not to believe. So number 10 says, what is your biggest tip for someone who wants to transition to cruelty-free makeup and beauty? Like I said, Logical Harmony is the best resource to use, so just go ahead and bookmark it. I check that freaking website like multiple times a day. I think I'm a little obsessed. There's also a really cool Facebook group, which I've talked about it before, but it's called Bunny Lifestyle. But it's a great place to go to ask questions, to get product recommendations. If you're confused about something, everyone in there is super supportive and super nice. So I definitely recommend checking out that Facebook group and joining it if you are interested, especially if you're starting out. I think something like that can be really helpful. A lot of times, you know, in our day-to-day life, we might not necessarily have people around us, like friends and family, who are as interested in this as we are, so it can be nice to find kind of an online community like that to be a part of. And another tip I would have for someone who's new to this would be, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't, I mean, unless you really want to, I wouldn't throw away, you know, let's say you have a lot of products in your collection that aren't cruelty-free. Don't just throw those away. You can use them up and then slowly replace them as you run out. That way it won't be such a shock and you won't have to run out and buy like a whole new makeup collection. So yeah, go easy on yourself. Make the transition gradual, and I think that'll make it a lot easier. And then the last question is, what is your favorite thing about the cruelty-free community? I think that this community is great because it's filled with really compassionate people. I mean, we're all people who care about animals and we don't want to contribute to needless animal suffering. So I think that by default, everyone that I've met has been super sweet because we're all kind of this like-minded group of people who wants to do just what we can to make things better in the world. So yeah, I'd say you probably can't find like a sweeter and more compassionate group of people out there than this cruelty-free community. It's a really great thing to be a part of. Definitely know that if you are starting out going cruelty-free, you're thinking about doing it, just know that this community is filled with really awesome and just really genuine and compassionate people. So it just warms my heart, and that's why I love being here on YouTube because I get to connect with so many people. So that's the cruelty-free beauty tag. I really enjoyed doing this, and I'm so glad that JHolmie started this. I really enjoy this type of tag because it's a great way to hear other people's perspectives on these things. If you do this video, definitely let me know. I would love to watch it, and I hope to see more people do it. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, I'd love for you to just answer these questions in the comments so that I can hear your answers. Other than that, if you enjoyed this, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!